Good evening everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. Today we will be doing Mission CAT 2022 series and we will be looking at topic Geometry and Mensuration. This is part 2 of it. It has been in a long queue since a long time. So my name is Navin and I scored a 100 percentile in QA and LRDI CAT 2021. I'm a serial 99 percentiler in ZAT and CAT. I have got the opportunity of teaching for the past over 20 years now, and we will today see how to attempt questions on geometry and mensuration, not getting into a lot of details as to formulas. If you can visualize the figures in a simpler way and all of that. Okay, so well, good evening. Let's begin. So the first question is, a square sheet of paper has a side of 48 centimeter. 4 squares, each of side a centimeter, are cut away from each of its corners, and the remaining sheet is folded into an open box. What is the maximum possible volume of the box formed? So this is a question not entirely based on geometry as in mensuration. It also includes a concept which is called maxima minima, because we are trying to find out what is the maximum possible volume of the box formed. So AMGM is something that is going to be used here. Yeah, good evening everyone, good evening. So let's visualize. Let's say this is the square sheet of paper, right, of side 48 centimeter. I'm not going to write 48 as of now. Now it's given that square sheets of side A is being cut from all the 4 corners, right, and then these are folded to form an open box, a box with no lid. So if I fold along these blue lines, so I will be getting this blue line over here, the next blue line as the another side, and then I will have this region, it will come on top of it. This region is going to come here, right? So I will have an open box like this. Let's make it more accurate, and the folded pieces, I mean the folded line, the cut lines, not folded, cut lines will be over here. So this is what the figure is going to look like, right? So I'm going to use variables in order to solve it. I'll put the value of the variable later on. So what all things were given to us? It was given to us that this entire length is given, right? This dimension, this side of the original square is given to us, isn't it? So let's call this as the side S. Okay. Now, if unit A is cut from each corner, as in squares of dimension A cross A is cut from each of the corners, so what will be the lengths of the remaining sides, as in what will be this particular length? This is going to be S minus 2A. What would be this length? This will be S minus 2A. What about the opposite blue line? This is also going to be S minus 2A. Similarly, this is also going to be S minus 2A, isn't it? Right? And then this length is going to be A. So if I, place these variables, place these lengths for the open box, we realize that this is S minus 2A. This is also S minus 2A. And this height is nothing but A. So now we have an open box whose dimension is S minus 2A into s minus 2a into a, right? By a, as in 2 की जगह by a. So the dimension is s minus 2, and a. So instead of using s minus 2a, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it a bit so that for us the calculation becomes easy. So what I'm going to do is, instead of s minus 2a, I'm going to write b. Now, what is the question? Question is, if you look at the side, can I say b plus 2a is equal to s? B, a on the left, a on the right, right? That is b plus 2a. Similarly, if you look at the slide, the slant side, this side, so this is also a plus b plus a, which is nothing but the side of the original square piece of sheet, right? So b plus 2a is still s. This part is given to us. We need to find out the maximum possible volume of this particular open box, which is going to be b into a. That will be the volume, which is b square a. So the question is based on AMGM, not actually mensuration. The only part of mensuration that was required was what is the volume of cuboid of dimension b, b and a. So how do we find out the maximum possible value of a particular term if the sum is given? Well, b will get, look at the powers, b gets 2/3 of the total side, and since the coefficient of b is 1, so you write down 1 upon 1, square it. Next, a gets 1/3 of the total side, the coefficient of a is 2, so you write down 1 by 2. This is how we calculate using AMGM, right? I'm using the shortcut method. Now what we can do is we can put the value of s over here. We know that s, as in the side of the original square, is nothing but 48. So this becomes 2/3 of 48 whole square into 1/3 of 48 into half. So this is going to be 16 into 2, 32 square into, this is 6, this is 8. So 32 square into 8. Now what you can do is you can actually calculate it, or you can do an approximation, right? 32 square is 1024 into 8. You can try solving this. We should be pretty sure that the answer should be more than 9000, and the last digit should end in 32 square is 1024, right? So it should end in 2, not 9000. It should be more than 8000, and it should end in 2. So which option is going to be in 8000s and it ends in 2? If you look at the options, 32 square into 8, that is 1024 into 8, will result in 8192. If you solve it, I did not solve it, I'm like 8000 plus hoga or last digit 2 hoga. That was good enough for me to actually figure out the answer, right? So Varun, whenever sum is given and product is asked, the only way is using AMGM. There is no other way, no? When sum is given, product is asked, or if product is given, sum is asked. Without AMGM, you won't be able to solve any of those questions. Okay, next one. Find the volume of the cuboid if the longest rod, which is fixed into its it is of length 17 centimeter. The width of the cuboid is 25% less than the length of the cuboid, and the length is 150% of the height. Okay, so we need to draw the figure first. So we have a cuboid. Where, let's say, this is the length, this is the breadth, and this one is the height. How are they related? Suppose if I take length as certain variable L, so the breadth is, that is width, is 25% less. So can we say this is 0.75 of B? And this length is actually 150% of the height. So let's write everything in terms of h. तो इसको अगर h ही मान लेते हैं. Okay, so let's do this. let's say that the height is h, so length will be 150% of the height, so L will become 1.5h, and then breadth is going to be 25% less than this. So what is going to be 25% less than 1.5? So it's going to be in point, right? 25% less means 3/4 of 1.5. 1.5 is how much? 3/2. So this is going to give us 9/8 of h, which is going to be 1.125 h. So the three dimensions are h, 1.5h and 1.125h. Once we have got the dimensions, now what we can do is find out the longest diagonal. The longest diagonal of a cuboid is given as under root L square plus B square plus H square, and this is given to us as 17, right? So we need to find out what are the values of L, B and H. We can either use triplets, assuming that triplets will give us the answer, which generally they do. Otherwise, we will have to put the values of L as 1.5h, B as 1.125h, and then square them and then take the sum, then take the square root, which may be very time consuming. So looking at 7, we do know that the triplet with 7 we get is with when you have 8, 15 and 17. Hello? Now 8, 15 and 17, now we can have 15 as one of the diagonals, wherein you can get that 15 from 9 and 12. So if I have 8 square plus 9 square plus 12 square, so 9 square plus 12 square will result in 15 square, and then 8 square plus 15 square will result in 17 square. Hold on, 3, 4, 5, that's a triplet. Okay, fine. So this is the continuous triplet wherein a pair of perfect squares will result in a perfect square. That perfect square will get will form a triplet with the remaining two values, one written on the LHS, one written on the RHS. Now if we put in the values, will this make sense? As in, if I take h as 8, the smallest value, then 1.125h will become 9, and 50% more than 8 or 150% of 8 will become 12. 8, 9 and 12, do they form a, do they follow this percentage change? So this is 50% more than this. Sorry, I should not have written it over here. This is hidden, right? So what I meant was 15 is 15 can be a triplet from 9 and 12, says that 8 square plus 9 square plus 12 square, 9 square plus 12 square will result in 15 square, and then 8 square plus 15 square is 17 square. Yeah, so I was saying that is it a possibility that if h is 8, 1.5h is 12 and 1.125h is 9? Yes, it will definitely follow it. So the dimensions we just found out was that the height is 8, the width is 9 and the length is 12. Now we have to find the volume. So the volume of the cuboid is going to be 8 into 9 into 12, which is either you do 8 into 9, 72 into 12, or you do 12 into 9 and then multiply it by 8, or you do 12 into 8 and then multiply it by 9, whichever you are comfortable with. I'll prefer multiplying 9 and 12, the larger values first. 9 into 12 is 108, and 8 into 108 is a number that will end in 4. There is only one value that ends in 4. Anyways, 8 into 100 is 800, 8 into 8 is 64. So 864 will give us the answer. So we save ourselves a lot of time to solve this particular equation, because it will be difficult to solve 1 square, 1.5 square and 1.125 square, add them and take the square root. So triplets will be the fastest way. Hi Shankar. Okay. So in the meantime, people who are watching, please do drop a like. Okay. Question number 3. From a stone which is in the shape of a cube with the side 30 cm, a right circular cone of maximum volume is carved out. Find the total surface area available to paint on both the cone and the cube, right? So we have first of all a cube, from this cube we have to carve out a circular cone. So let's say the circular cone we are carving out with the maximum volume will happen if I make sure that the base of the cone takes up the maximum area of one of the faces of the cube, which is like a square and then a circle inside it. And the height of the cone is going to touch the opposite face. So this is the cone that we can carve out, which is going to have the maximum volume. So how are the dimensions of the cube and the cone related? So for that, suppose the side of the cube is A, then what would be the radius? Or let's take this is 2A to make it easier. I'm not taking the variable again, I'm not taking the exact value, I'm going to put it later on. So let's say 2A is 30. So the radius of the cone, the base of the cone is going to be A, because the diameter is the side. So radius will be half of the side, which will be half of 2A. And what is the height? Height of this cone. This is same as the side of the cube, which is going to be 2A. Now, if I want to calculate the surface area of a cone, you guys would know that in order to calculate areas of a cone or any pyramid, as a matter of fact, you don't need the height, you need the slant height. So we will have to calculate what the slant height is going to be. So slant height is going to be, this is nothing but a right angle triangle where one side is A, another side is 2A. So this slant height is going to be, using Pythagoras theorem, 2A whole square plus A square, which will result in root 5 times of A. Now, since we know the dimensions, we will try to calculate the total surface area. So, in order to calculate the total surface area that is required, so visualize that you have a particular cube. From that cube, you have taken out a cone of maximum volume. And if I now want to paint both of these figures, three-dimensional figures, inside out, everywhere, right? क्योंकि total surface area find out करना है. So what is the extra additional surface that we got? So there was already an additional surface area of 6 into 2A whole square. As in the 6 faces of the cube will still be there, right? What was the additional area that we got? So can we say the additional area that we got was the curved surface area of this particular cone, which will be the part of the cone that we have to paint, and the same surface area is now going to be available inside the cube that should also be painted. So can I say this is 2 times of the curved surface area of cone? Now what is, so instead of this, let's write down total surface area of the cube, or just the surface area of cube. So what is total surface area of the cube? This is 6 times side ka square plus 2 times. How do you calculate curved surface area of a cone? Curved surface area of a cone is given as half into base perimeter. So the base perimeter is going to be 2 pi a into slant height, and slant height is root 5a. So if we simplify this, this is going to be 4 into 6, 24a square, plus this is 2 root 5 into pi a square. Now what is the value of a? We just assume that 2a is 30, right? So a is going to be 15. Now we can put the value of a as 15 here. So this one will give us 24 into 15 square plus 2 root 5 pi 15 square, right? So how much is this going to end in? So this is going to end in 6 into 9, 63. So 6300 plus 225 ka double. which is going to be, did we miss anything? No. So 225's double, 450 pi root 5. Why is the option not 6550? This is 2 root 5. Pi RL is the curved surface area, right? So radius is A, which is 15. L is root 5A. Okay. Find the total surface area in centimeter. Everything is centimeter square, available to paint on both the cone and the cube. Okay, there should have been an option which says none of these. Kunal, we don't need to add pi r square, because if you look at the cone, look at the cube, in the cube there is already a circle missing which you can't paint, right? So actually the total surface area of the cube where you have to paint will include the entire surface area of the cube minus that circle. So when you subtract that part of this circle, which will be on the one of the faces of the cube that you can't paint because ab udhar khali hai na, that is the area which now moves to the cone. So if I want to add the base area for the total surface area of the cone, I will have to subtract it from there, which will not make any difference because anyways I am adding it. So how about assuming that the cube has the entire surface that we have to calculate where the cut was made, that circular part is already painted. So if I look at the cone now, I only need the curved part because this part is already painted here. So we don't need to add pi r square, because if we add pi r square, there will be another 225 pi, but 225 pi is nowhere to be found. We can't put there is no root 5 in 225, hai na? Got it? So that's why let's keep it that way, as in cube ke all the 6 faces, that includes the circle. So if you look at the cone, we only need that part of the cone, the curved part, but that curved part should be twice. So we have already taken that, right? Twice of pi RL. So pi RL is once, twice is because inside the cube you will have one more. So I'm not missing out on anything, right? So none of the options match, so there should be none of these. So we can't have 675 even. Even C option is very far, because actually if you add it, you will have 225 pi further, root 5 is not there. So there is some mistake in the option. So none of these will be the answer. You can't have 6750s. You can't have curved surface area, can't be so huge as compared to the total surface area of the cube. So how come they are so large? Hai na? This is almost like 20 times of the total surface area. So 6300 plus 450 root 5 pi is the answer. Varun, pi RL is the curved surface area of the cone, where this is called L and this is called R. So pi is a it's a standard value already there, right? So you need radius and you need slant height. So radius is A, slant height is going to be the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle. This is how you calculate slant height of a cone. Height and radius ka Pythagoras, which will give you root 5a. So L is root 5a, radius is A. This formula that I have used, this is a general formula, half into base perimeter into slant height. You can simply use pi RL. If you know that formula, you can use it. Anyways, this 2 and 2 will get cancelled out, so don't have to worry about it. Right, okay. Next, a sphere with the largest possible volume is placed inside a hollow cone of radius 9 cm and height 12 cm. Find the ratio of the volume of this sphere to the volume of the cone. Such kind of questions where you have a sphere inside a cube, you have a cube inside a sphere, you have a cone inside a cube, you have a cube inside a cone, you have a cone inside a sphere, you have a sphere inside a cone. So these three figures, cone, sphere and cube, you can take any pair and keep them one inside the other. You have got 6 different questions, right? So this is a scenario where we are dealing with a sphere and a cone, and here this sphere is placed inside the cone. So first of all, we will have to draw the cone. Now this cone has the radius of 9 and it has got a height of 12, right? Can we calculate the slant height? I don't know if it is going to be required or not, but do we know the slant height? Yes, again using Pythagoras. This is a triplet, 3, 4 and 5, so this should be 15. So the slant height of the cone is 15, we are sure about that. Now, if I want to place a sphere inside it, so if I want this sphere to have the maximum volume, I have to make sure that this sphere is going to touch the cone from the inside. It's a hollow cone, right? So the points at which the sphere touches the cone, that is not going to form a diameter. It is going to be a chord because center is going to lie somewhere over here. Now, had this cone been a particular cone where the height or the slant height and the diameter had been same, so it would have been very easy because this would have been an equilateral triangle. Right now, this is not, because the sides slant heights are 15 and 15. And the point from this to this is 18, 9 and 9, right? So this is the diameter. So this is actually an isosceles triangle. We can find out what is the volume of the sphere if we can figure out how much is this going to be. What will be the radius of the sphere? See, the radius of the base of the cone is 9. Do we have the same radius for the sphere? No. So we need the angle. Can we find the angle? Let's try. Suppose this is radius r, this is radius r, and if we happen to join this top point from here, the top of the cone to the center of the sphere, so this entire distance was 12, out of which r is the bottom part. So we are going to have 12 minus r over here, right? This is a 90 degree. Can we find out how much length this is going to be? Can we use similarity? Can we use triplet? Can we do a hit and trial? Looking at the options, that the volume is 1/3, it's 1/4, it's 3/8. So how much will this length going to? This length is going to be this length, because the entire length is 15. Anyone? Because the moment I get this length, I'm going to use Pythagoras theorem in this right angle triangle. And I'll get the value of r. Well, it looks difficult, but it's not. Actually, what is going to happen is, if you look at from this point, these two lines are nothing but the tangents to the circle. So whatever is this length over here is the same length you will find over here. But what is this length from the point where the sphere is touching at the base of the cone and the corner of the cone? This is your radius of the base, 9. So if this is 9, this is 9. If the distance from here to here is 9 and the entire distance is 15, so how much distance are we going to have here? Obviously 6. 9 plus 6 is 15. So now we can use either a triplet again, or we can use the Pythagoras theorem. We can say that r square plus 6 square is going to be same as 12 minus r ka whole square. Right? Or what we can do, it's not going to be quadratic, right? If I open the RHS, I will get 144. Instead of 6 square, I will write 36 over here. And this is minus 24r plus r square. So r square gets cancelled out. So from here, I will get r is equal to 144 minus 36, which is 108 upon 24. So I will get the radius, right? So how much is this? They both are in the table of 12. This is 12 into 2, this is 12 into 9. So 9 by 2 or 4.5 centimeter is the radius of this sphere. Now can we calculate the volume of this sphere? Yes. Volume of this sphere is given as 4 by 3 pi r cube. What is the volume of the cone? Volume of the cone is given as 1 by 3 pi r square into h. H is 12 over here, not 15. Remember, for the volume of the cone, you don't take the slant height, you take the perpendicular height. So, the first thing that will go away is going to be this 3. Next thing is going to be pi. Then your 9 square vanishes. Then you will have this 2 going away. So this is going to be actually 8 over here, right? So this 4 goes away. So we will have 9 over here, and this 2 goes to the other side. You will have 2 into 12, which then simplifies and gives you 3:8. Bravo becomes our answer. Varun, you can use hit and trial. As in, if 6 is a triplet, so 3, 4, 5 का triplet होता है, right? So either 6 is 3 or either 6 is 4. So if 6 is 4, how many times of, what into 4 is 6? 1.5. So if you take the triplet of 3, 4, 5, so 4 into 1.5 is 6. So 3 into 1.5 is going to be 4.5. So if one side is 6, the radius is 4.5. The next one is going to be 5 into 1.5, which is 7.5. So this height is 7.5. If this is 7.5, this is 4.5. Because total 12 है. 7.5 plus 4.5 is 12. And this is also 4.5. So everything matches. But how would you decide that you have to multiply with 1.5? So that's the question. If you are good with triplets, if you know exactly how to multiply it, you can use triplets any day. Okay, next one. Two spheres of radii 10 centimeter and 2 centimeter are inscribed inside a right circular cone. The bigger sphere touches the smaller sphere and also the base of the cone. What is the height of the cone in centimeter? Again, we have a question based on a cone and spheres, but we don't have one sphere, we actually have two spheres. So let's say this is the larger sphere. since it's inscribed, it means it should touch the inner walls of the cone as well. And then above it, we have another sphere. Both the spheres are touching the inner walls of the cone. Okay, that's why they have used the word inscribed to understand. If they don't touch, then the height of the cone can be anything, right? Now, what are the dimensions that we are aware of? The radius of the cone, no idea. What about the radius of this sphere? 10. What about the radius of the smallest sphere? 2. So we need to find out what is the height of this cone. We need this. So do we know the height is same as radius or something like that? No. So for this, what I believe is, what we can do is, this is also going to be 10, right? This part is also going to be 10. So we know a lot of component of the height. This is going to be 2. And then this is also going to be 2. So the only thing that we are not aware of is that part, smaller sphere's top part and the tip of the cone. We don't know that distance. If we know that distance, we will add 2, 2, 10, 10 and that length, and we will get the height of the cone. So the missing part is this length. So let's call this as L. How to get the value of L? So the only thing that is going to help us faster is similarity. So if you look at this particular part, where this is L, this is 2, this is 2, this is a right angle triangle because it's like a tangent. This slant is like a tangent to the smaller sphere. And if I look at the larger figure, as in this is 2, this is 2, this is 10, and then this slant height, this is 90. So this one is 10, this one is 10, this is 2, this is 2, and this is L. So I will draw the part of the figure so that you can relate. So this is the part of the smaller sphere that it passes through it. This is the part of the smaller sphere that passes through it. And then you have the larger sphere that passes like this. So if you look at these two triangles, they are going to be similar. Why? A similarity is good enough. So if these two triangles are similar, so can we say that their corresponding sides are going to be in the same ratio? Matlab, L plus 2 upon 2 should be same as L plus 14 upon 10. If we solve this, we will get the value of L. So this is going to be 5 times, right? So 5L plus 10 will be equal to L plus 14, or we will get 4L is equal to 4, or we will get L is equal to 1. So anyways, this radius was not required, right? So if L turns out to be 1, what is the entire height? 1, 2, 2, 10, 10. So that is going to be 25. So this involved a similarity concept because we did not know what part of that height, the smaller length L, what is its value, because major component we are already aware of that it's the diameter is 20 and the diameter is 4 for these two spheres. Yes, 25 is the answer, right, Kunal? Okay, next question. A spherical ball is painted on its surface area with 2 liters of gold colored paint. If the same ball is cut into 8 identical pieces with each cut along each plane, find how much more paint in liters is required to paint the remaining surfaces. We need 8 identical pieces. How will we get 8 identical pieces from, let's talk about a circle. There is a circle. I don't need 8 pieces. I need 8 identical pieces. This is only going to happen if I cut across the diameters, right? So if I take a circle and if I want to divide into 8 identical pieces, this is like making 8 people sit around a circular table. So this is only going to happen if I cut it like this. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 pieces are there, right? And if I convert this into a 3-dimensional figure, if it's a sphere, so I will have 8 pieces which will look like this. Each piece is going to look like this, right? So if I cut it, it will look like a slice of a pizza. है ना? Okay. So we need 4 slices, as in we need 4 cuts, vertical, horizontal, northwest to southeast and northeast to southwest. 4 slices करेंगे हो जाएगा. So this may look like a pizza, but actually it's not going to be a pizza. Its actual shape is going to be part of a sphere where this is going to be a semicircular part. Okay. See, if I take a sphere and if I cut it in half, so if I slant it a bit, that hemisphere is going to look something like this, right? This portion. And similarly, I will have the same portion over here. So when I cut a sphere into 2 equal parts, as in 2 hemisphere, I get the curved portion for sure. Then I get one circle at the center. Here, this is a circle. Now, what if I further cut it along this, along the radius again, along horizontally, along this plane? Then I will get a semicircle, right? Because it's going to pass through the center, and I will get a cone part. So this part is already there. So this may look like a tube, but actually it's going to be much spherical in shape. है ना? Now what happens if I cut it along this? So what I get is a quarter of a sphere. Not quarter, it's going to be quarter of a hemisphere. So 1/8. So this is one part, this is the vertical line, this is the center of the sphere, this is the blue component that was cut, and then I will have the shape. Right? So this is for visualization purpose. This is not going to help us solve the question as such. So what happens, what is the total surface area of a sphere? Total surface area of a sphere is given as 4 pi r square, right? Now if I make 4 slices, can I say I get additional 4 circles? Not 4 circles, I'll get 8 circles. Yes or no? See, look at the hemisphere. This entire sphere was 4 pi r square. When I sliced it in half, and when you look at the two spheres, and if you push them away, you will find one circle over here, you will find another circle over here. So with every cut, I get two circles. So if I'm going to make 4 cuts, I'll get twice of that, as in I'll get 8 circles. So can I say the total surface area of this sphere after the cuts will be 4 pi r square plus 8 circles area, which will be 8 pi r square. Now, if 4 pi r square, that surface, if it requires 2 liters of gold, so 8 pi r square will require 4 liters of gold. So is the question asking us what is the total liters of gold required, or how much more gold was required? Question is how much more liters of gold is required. Gold colored paint, not gold. So we need another 4 liters. Clear? So we don't have to find the surface areas in pieces. We can simply see that every time you have a potato, or when you have an egg, or if you have an orange, if you slice it, you will get 2 circles. Put it back, slice it, open it, again you will get 2 circles. You slice at any particular angle, you will always get 2 new circles which were never seen before, right? So you'll get 8 circles, and 8 circles is nothing but 8 pi r square. Question number 7. Nana uses 396 cc of red mud, 468 cc of black mud, and 324 cc of moor mud to mold into a number of solid right circular cylinders of each type of mud. Each type of mud, okay? These cylinders have the same volume, and each of these has a height of 9 centimeter. If the total number of cylinders is to be kept at a minimum, then the total curved surface area of all these cylinders is. So kind of a question based on HCF LCM, along with a bit of mensuration, because you have to calculate curved surface area. Yes, Varun, previous question was a seater. So if you already knew that if you have a sphere and if you cut it once, you will get 2 new circles, because initially 4 pi r square is telling us those are equivalent to 4 circles, right? So you will get 8 new circles. So we can say double the surface area we get twice the new surface areas, right? Initially it was 4 circles, 4 pi r square total surface area. Now you will get 8 circles. So if it's initially we were taking 2 liters of paint, now we will take double of that, 4 liters of paint. Wherein 2 liters of paint have already been painted along the curved parts. The flat parts which were cut, those are another 4 liters of paint. Yeah, so back to this question. We need cylinders with same volume, and each of these has a height of 9 centimeter. Total number of cylinders has to be kept at a minimum. Then the total curved surface area of all these cylinders is. So our target is to find the number of cylinders. We will calculate total surface area later on. Without doing anything also, we can solve the question. Not solve the question, as in we can figure out what options it would be. The answer can't be C or D. Because if you are trying to calculate the curved surface area of the cylinder, not the total surface area, it's curved surface area. है ना? So curved surface area mein you have the base and the height multiplied. What is the formula for curved surface area of a cylinder? It's given as 2 pi RH, and H is 9. So can I say my final answer will be a number in the table of 9? From all the 4 options, C and D, these are not the numbers in the table of 9. A and B are, because they are formed of the same digits rearranged. So if 2736 is in the table of 9, 2376 will also be. अब हमें पता करना है A B में से आंसर क्या है. So we have 396 cc of mud, we have 468 cc of black mud, and then we have 300 and hold on, 24 cc of moor mud. So forget about curved surface area of cylinder. So can I say that if I want to have minimum number of cylinders, then I need to divide 396 into minimum number of parts, 468 also minimum number of parts, and 324 also minimum number of parts. If each of them are going to be divided into minimum number of parts, their sum will also be minimum. That's what they're asking us. That we have to keep the total number of cylinders minimum. Since the same volume is supposed, we need to have the volume of each of these cylinders having same, with the same height and same radius, because height is given as 9, that has been fixed. So that means the radius should also be been fixed. So kitna de sabko? How much shall we give? Height is 9 throughout. So let's forget about that 9. So can I say I have to take the HCF of 396, 468 and 324? Because that's the volume that can be equally distributed. So what is the HCF of 396, 468 and 324? What is the HCF? So 396 minus 24 is 72. Do we have 396 plus 72 is equal to 468? Yes. So 72 is the HCF. If 72 is the HCF, it means if I break down 396 into 72 cc ka volume, 72 cc, how many 72 cc volume और 72 के volume में parts में break कर सकते हैं? 396 by 72, how much is that? 396 by 72. Are they all divisible by 72? They are jumping by 72, no? So 396 72 से divide होगा क्या? 72 into 5 is 360. Now 72 won't work. If 72 won't work, if the highest factor doesn't work, so we'll go to the next factor. What is the next factor of 72? 36. So will 36 work? As in, are all the numbers divisible by 36 now? 396 is divisible by 36? Yes. So if I take 36 cc ka each, there are going to be 11 cylinders from the red one. If I look at 468 and if I take out 36 cc of volume from 468, how many such cylinders can I form where each cylinder has a volume of 36 cc? How many? 13. And what about moor shape? 36 cc करके अगर निकालेंगे, if I cut them slices in 36 cc each, so how many will we have? So 9 cylinders. So can I say this is the minimum number of cylinders I can have because I was trying to give the maximum possible volume that can be taken out, and the volume needs to be equal, right? Okay. I believe you guys are aware of what cc is. cc is cubic centimeter, है ना? ठीक है. So whichever scenario it is, can I say 36 cc का volume का मेरे को एक cylinder बनाने का, where this height is 9. So this 36 cc is, how do you calculate volume of a cylinder? Can I say this is given as pi r square h? So from here we will have 9 goes away. So this is 4. Pi, I will keep it as such. So r square is going to be 4 by pi cc. क्यूबिक सेंटीमीटर नहीं होगा, अब ये सेंटीमीटर स्क्वायर हो जाएगा एक्चुअली. We will not have cube centimeter, no, centimeter square. I'm not going to find r. फिर वो 2 upon root 2 not going to help. लिख ले क्या? चलो, let's write it down. R square is 4 upon pi, so r will be whole root under 4 by pi, whatever that is. And let's change centimeter square to centimeter. So now we have the radius, we now have the height, and we now have the total number of cylinders, which is the minimum. We are now going to simply calculate the total curved surface area of all these cylinders. How do we calculate total curved surface area of all these cylinders? So how many cylinders do we have? 11, 13 and 9. So which is 20, 33 into each cylinder's curved surface area is given as base perimeter into height 2 pi RH. 2 pi radius is under root 4 by pi into h, and height is 9. Will we be able to get the square root of pi? (36) is not in the table of 22 or 7, right? Volume is given as pi r square h. So we can't do anything about that pi. Pi will come as square root. Okay, let's ignore pi abhi ke liye. So this is going to be 33 into 2 into root 4, which is 2 into 2, which is 4 into 9. We will have root pi. How much is this going to result in? (36) into 33. (24 plus 9, 33). We have 33 cylinders. Each cylinder has a volume of 36 cc, as in pi r square h is a cylinder, of course, the volume, where height is given as 9. So if we equate it, we will get root pi करना ही पड़ेगा, because that's what the approximate value we are going to get. Fine. So 33 into 36. So we will have 108 and 108. So we will have 1188. Now 1188, what is square root of 3.14? Square root of 3.14. So well, 1.6 ka square is 2.56, 1.87 ka square is 2.89, 1.7 ka square is 2.89, right? So 1.8 square is 3.24. We want 3.14, so it should be less than 1.8, more than 1.7. So 1.75 से multiply कर लेते हैं. And let's see, do we reach up to 2376 or do we reach up to 2736? Well, if we'll see, तो अब इधर 9 वाइन का तो कोई टेंशन ही नहीं है, because this is an irrational value, right? So how much will 1188 into 1.75 going to give us? So that is going to be 1188 plus 0.75 is 3/4 of this. So what is 1/4? 1/4 matlab half. So 594 uska half. 296 का 3 times 1000 के आसपास. So the closest we can get to is 2376. Right now we are at 2200 ish, right? So the closest we can have is 2376. We can't go beyond that. So Varun, we took the HCF by taking the difference. Difference of these two is 72. Difference of these two is 72. Subtract 72. So if the difference is 72, that means the HCF is 72 or a factor of 72. It turns out that 396 is not in the table of 72. है ना? So if 72 के table में नहीं है, तो 72 का factor, next factor of 72 is 36. It will be in the table of 36, maybe. So we will check 36. It turns out that every number is in the table of 36. So great. If 36 would not have turned out, then the next factor of 72 below 36 will be 24. So we will check for 24 then. But if I take the smaller factors, the number of cylinders will keep on increasing, you know. Okay. So difficult one, right? Because of that square root of pi. Wasn't expecting that. Okay. Next one. A right circular cone, a right circular cylinder, a cube and a sphere all have the same radius, and cube has side equal to the radius, and the heights of the cone and cylinder equal to the diameters. Then their volumes are proportional respectively too. Pretty simple, right? So we have a right circular cone, we have a right circular cylinder, we have a cube, see, you don't have to draw the figures in the exam, right? You should understand that what are the given. The dimensions is all you need to write. Figure is just for you guys to write, not to understand. And then you have a sphere. The given part is they all have the same radius. So let's say this is the radius. So this is the radius, this is the radius. The cube has side equal to the radius, so this is also R. And the heights of the cone and the cylinder are equal to the diameters. So height of the cone is equal to the diameter, height of the cylinder is equal to the diameter, nothing else is required. Then volumes we need to calculate. So the volume of the cone and this cylinder. If you guys are aware of the volumes of a cone and a cylinder, the volume of a cylinder is always 3 times the volume of the cone with the same base and the same radius, as in the same base area and the same height. 3 times hota hai. So if its volume is V, its volume is going to be 3V because you have the same height and you have the same radius. This will straight away help us eliminate option A and B, right? Okay, so let's find out what their volumes are going to be. So the volume of the cone is given as 1/3 of base area into height. The volume of the cylinder is given as base area into height. The volume of the cube is going to be side cube, and the volume of the sphere is going to be 4/3 pi r cube. So r cube vanishes. You can take r as 1, koi dikkat nahi hai. So you will be left with r cube vanishes, r cube vanishes, r cube vanishes, r cube vanishes. Let's take the LCM, denominators ka. So this 3 vanishes, this 3 vanishes, so that 3 appears here, that 3 appears here. So we will have pi, we will have 3 pi, we will have 3, and we will have 4 pi. This is good enough. Fourth option, D. Right? Okay. Ninth question. How many pairs of integral coordinates are lying on the circumference of a circle whose equation is x square plus y square is equal to 400? Now, drawing it won't help you. Using coordinate geometry to actually plot the graph is also not going to help you, because you can't plot the perfect graph and you can't count. Excuse me. So you will have to solve it. So we need to find out all those values of x square plus y square is equal to 400 where it will make sense, right? So this is 0 square plus 400 as in 20 square. 400 is 20 square, no? So we'll take this as 20 square. But if x square is 0 square and y square is 20 square, y can be plus minus 20. Right? So we will have how many possibilities here, as in how many points? We will have 0, 20 and we will have 0, minus 20. As in we got the tip of the circle and we got the bottom of the circle. Right? Next, if I take 1 square, will y will be integral? No. Right? It won't be. So 20 square is in the table of, as in if I talk about triplet, so 20 square can be, can I say the triplet is going to be that of 3, 4, 5, which is nothing but 12, 16 and 20, multiplying everything by 4 times. So if I write 12 square and if I write 16 square, it will add up to give me 20 square, right? So I can have plus minus 12 and plus minus 16 whole square. As in I can have 12, 16, I can have 12, minus 16. I can have minus 12, 16 and I can have minus 12, minus 16. So I'll get 4 from here. What if I interchange it? I'll get new set of answers. Plus minus 16 square and plus minus 12 square. So I'll get 4 more values. Right? The way I got x as 0 and y as plus minus 2, in the very similar way, y could be 0 and x can be plus minus 20 whole square. So I'll get 2 values from here as well. See, there are going to be a lot of, there are actually going to be infinite set of solutions, but for integral coordinates, they can only form triplets, right? What other triplet we can have apart from 3, 4, 5? 20 is also in the triplet of which other perfect square, if not 3, 4, 5? What else can we take? 5, 12, 13 will not make sense, right? Can we take 8, 7, 15, 17? No, 17 is the hypotenuse. It will also not make sense. So how many did we get so far? We got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have got 12 so far. Now think about it. Suppose if I get one more triplet, let's say that triplet is A is to B is to 20. एक और मिल गया, suppose मिल गया. So don't you think I will have the same set of values rearranged? Not same set as in not 12, 16 and 0, 20, but same values that are going to be rearranged for the second and the third case, as in I will have another 4 case and another 4 case, as in I will have plus minus A plus minus B के 4 cases, and I will have plus minus B and plus minus A के 4 cases. So I can have a 20 also as the answer. I cannot have 16, right? So is there any other triplet that we need to find out? Because the answer is going to be either B option or D. It can't be C, it can't be A. क्योंकि हम लोग 10 से ज़्यादा तो आ चुके हैं. 12, 16, 20 we have already done. Any other triplet? Try. You can start with 19 square. 19 square is 361. So you're left with 49. अरे ये तो आ गया. नहीं. 361 plus 49 is not it's not 400. It's actually 361 plus 39. So 39 is not a perfect square. 18, if I take 324, so we'll be left with 76. Won't work. If I take 17, 17 square is 289, so we'll be left with 111. Again missed by 10. So it won't work. If I take 16, which is 256, then you will have 144. We have already taken that. 16 square and 12 square, right? If I take 15, that is 225, you're left with 175. 175 is not a perfect square. If I take 14, which is 144, you are left with 256. We have already taken that, 12, 16. If I take 11, I will have 121, then the other will not make sense. So the moment you cross over to more than half of it, you will not get any more. So you will have only 12. There is no more triplet with AB20. Not possible. So we will have to check them one by one. Right? Okay. One more question. The two opposite vertices of a rectangle are minus 3, 5 and 6, minus 2, and the other two vertices lie on the line 11x minus 3y is equal to c. Find the coordinates of the other two vertices. Varun, 8, 15, 17 exists, but you can't make 17 convert to 20, no? 17 is not a factor of 20, so it won't work. We needed integral solutions, right? Okay, the two opposite vertices are given, one line is given, and you have to find the coordinates of the other two vertices. So which is the fastest way to solve it? Common sense. If the two other vertices are going to lie on this line, it should satisfy, right? As in, if I put 3 and 7, option A, the value that I am going to get should be the same value if I put minus 4 and 0. Because if it's the same line, the C, the constant should also be same. So is it 33 minus 21, which is 12. This is 44 minus 3. Won't work. What if I do the next one? As in C option, 11 into 3 minus 3 into 7. So 11 and 3 we are taking from here, okay? And this is equal to C, which will be 33 minus 21, which is 12, right? This is equal to 11 into 0 minus 3 into minus 4. Yes, it makes sense. So C could be the answer. We still don't know. We'll have to check the other cases. Okay, let's take a look at B. So we have 11 into minus 3 into 7, which is going to be minus 33 minus 21, which is going to be minus 54. This is equal to 11 into 0 minus 3 into minus 4. No way that this is going to be minus 54 kabhi bhi. So B bhi nahi ho sakta. Let's look at the option D. 11 into 3 minus 3 into minus 7. So this becomes 33 plus 21, which is 54. Let's check the other set of values. Will it give us that? So we'll have 11 into 4 minus 3 into 0. 11 into 4 is 44 and this was 54. So this also doesn't make sense. Just by checking that which pair of coordinates given in the options will satisfy the given line, because both those vertices are going to be on that line, we'll get the answer. Otherwise, we will have to not only find out two lengths which are equally distant as from these 2 points, because the diagonals of a rectangle, they are equal in length. we will also have to check that the lines drawn, are they perpendicular or not. So a lot of steps will be involved if you would not do this, right? So before you proceed and think, okay, pehle lines perpendicular ढूंढो, फिर diagonals का length बराबर होना चाहिए, can we do something else? Yes. Another way to look at this is also that the midpoint should also be same, right? As in, if I have a rectangle with some coordinates of A, B, C, D, okay, don't worry about that, I have written A, B, C, D in लिख ही लेते standard तरीके से. So if A, B, C, D is a rectangle, then AC's midpoint will be here and BD's midpoint will also be here. So if I say that this is A and C and the two missing points are B and D, so the midpoint of the points given should coincide. So what is the midpoint of minus 3, 5 and 6, minus 2? So this is going to be 3 by 2 and 5 and minus 2 ka average is also going to be 3 by 2. So let's see कि सारे options में से किस में से 3 by 2 आता है. 3 and minus 4's average is not 3 by 2. A is gone. Minus 3 and 0's average is not 3 by 2. This is also gone. 3 and 4's average is not 3 by 2. This is also gone. Average of 3 and 0 is 3 by 2 and average of 7 and minus 4 is also 3 by 2. Makes sense. So this will also help us figure out which option is the correct answer. This was relatively faster than actually putting the values because thoda calculation tha udhar. Got it? But we will never ever try to find out the equations of the lines such that they are perpendicular and the pair of points that are given, they are equidistant. Not going to do that ever. Because if a question is expecting us to do that, we are thinking in the wrong direction. There is always a simpler, faster approach. So I hope everyone who is watching may have given the like and have shared the video with your friends. So we started with NMAT sessions, complete revision of it. So the series name is Last Lap to NMAT 2022. It started from 19th. It happens 3 p.m. daily on YouTube. So please do subscribe and press the bell icon and keep the notifications open so that you don't miss out on NMAT. NMAT exam is very close for most of us. So you need to revise it, right? And you also need to concentrate on your CAT preparation or maybe it's IFT and ZAT. So you don't have to prepare for NMAT separately. You can just watch this, attend these sessions. The revision will happen automatically. So make sure that you join. Also, we have started with our CAT 2023 comprehensive batch, wherein every student who is going to enroll with us will be given a tablet with pre-recorded videos, more than 130 hours. You will be given more than 135 live sessions where you will get to interact with the faculties. They will teach you the syllabus, they will complete the course. They will tell you different types of questions, different approaches to solving questions. You will be given more than 70 mocks, including CAT and non-CAT. You will also be given the video attempts by the teachers so that you will know how to actually think about it. Not every solution is easy to understand when you read it, but when you listen, when you look, it's easier. So video solutions are given for every mock. You will be given practice tests, wherein you will have more than 9,500 questions in practice and sectional tests. So for CAT we have got 25 sectional and for non-CAT we have got 15 sectional tests. The recorded lectures, the classroom recorded lectures will have more than 300 engaging videos which will be there, which will be part of the syllabus, which will be not part of the syllabus, as in exam and analysis, previous year papers discussion, random questions preparation, which is of the same level as the competitive exam you're appearing for. You will be given the 3 books on VRCQA and LRDI. You will be given the assistance for GDPI preparation. CAT is the first step and it's a very small step. When it comes to GDPI, it's very important because in CAT, everyone is attempting the exam, whether they are serious, they are not. But people who get calls for the colleges, they are very serious. Now the competition is more fierce. So you have to be very, very much prepared for it. You should never take it lightly. people tell you and everybody is aware of, you know, these many calls were converted. Nobody tells you how many calls were not converted. There are students every year who got calls from 10 colleges, they were not able to convert a single one of them. That is another reason why they have to drop off again, drop out again and appear for CAT again next year. Or maybe they will not get the college of their choice because they did some mistakes in their PIs. So we will help you with that with 15 sessions, out of which 12 will be recorded, 3 will be live sessions. You also get the study notes. It will be pre-given to you, as in it will be pre-uploaded, and the sessions that happen, those study notes are also given. So if you are targeting CAT 2023, please do enroll because the batch has just begun. You will not miss out on anything. Do not join any batches 2 months, 2.5 months before the exam, because then you will be in a lot of rush. The syllabus is going to be in a rush. It's not very beneficial. So join as soon as possible so that you are given, I mean, you have ample time for your college preparation, your job. It will not take a toll on you. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe the video. Also do follow us on Instagram, Facebook and YouTube. And you can join our Telegram channel, which is BYJU'S MBA Doubts, wherein we have more than 10,000 students who ask their doubts regularly regarding their regarding questions, subjects, mocks, exams, date of exams, the you know, how the pattern of an exam is going to be, all of that. And if you want more such content for free of cost, please download our BYJU'S Exam Prep app. All the links are in the description given below. You can download it from there. And you can have a question bank or a video bank of hundreds of videos wherein discussion and analysis and pattern descriptions, all of those are there. Well, thank you for being here. Good luck, and don't forget to please like, share and subscribe the video. Take care. Bye-bye.